What's happening? So, I just wanted to hop on here and do a little video about how grotesque they have made the the grotesque culture that we live in. All right, we live in an absolutely disgusting culture, and thing is and it's just gross, man. So they have perverted sex so badly, all right? And so, thing is, all right, let's jump right into it. Sorry, it's late, but it's about bedtime for the Stevie. But so sex was created to be. It was a by God, by God, it was a beautiful thing, right? Meant to be enjoyed between a husband and his wife, and makes their bond better. Gets them more connected to one another. It produces children, and the love just increases, right? And so, thing is, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, sex really is a beautiful thing when it's making love between a husband and a wife. And anybody out there who has just had sex and has actually made love could tell you that making love far surpasses just having sex to have sex, if they're being real, because the thing is, there's that connection, and it's like, oh, this is what it was supposed to be. And so, the thing is when you're just having sex to have sex, it's sad. I mean, it really is. And you feel good for a minute. I think, oh man, I wish I could remember how it says. There's a saying I heard, it's something to the degree of sin is pleasurable, but it isn't satisfying. And, and also it hurts you in the long run. So much of the time the Lord tells us not to do certain things because it hurts us. And so fornication, hang on. So, okay. Sorry. A good buddy of mine's messaging me. But, so, thing is though, but yeah, sex is, fornication. The Lord wants us to avoid fornication for specific reasons. Okay? And the thing is it keeps us from getting hurt. Okay? You're naive. You're very naive if you think that you can just have sex with no emotional attachment, no blowback, sorry. Is that the shadow of my hair? Yeah, it's the shadow of my hair. I was like, what is that, dude? Looks like a comb over. But, yeah. Sex, when you actually look at the chemistry that's happening there, in your brain, no. There are things that are set in place for specific reasons. And when God tells us not to fornicate, there's specific reasons. And so when we just look at the society we live in, we can see how taking sex out of context, it screws everything up. Fornication, homosexuality, delusional people thinking they're the opposite sex than what they're born with, and that's a delusion. That is a delusion. Okay, I know I'm not going to be very popular by saying it, but I'm not here to be all that popular. there's reasons my account is not monetized, and that's partly so YouTube can't control my content so much. But take that, YouTube. But anyhow, they probably don't even know I exist. I'm just a little feller. But except for now. But yeah, I might get famous. But that'd be weird to me to be famous. But anywho. Thing is though is so yeah. Uh when we look at our society today, we can see the damage that sex that is not godly, unsanctified sexuality has done. I mean, so all right. Here recently, I just seen Cadbury Egg made a new commercial, and it's so sickening because it's this. There's the egg, and it's not just this because there's also like the thing starts off with this girl licking the cream out of a Cadbury egg very sexually, and it's like ew. Ew, it just looks weird. It's like, why is this even on the commercial? The whole thing's just disgusting. It used to be, they had the same dang commercial for years. And by the way, I'm not advocating Easter. Easter's a pagan holiday. But the candy's good. Like, I'm not opposed to the candy. I just don't think we should celebrate the darn holiday. And honestly, I think they should just sell the candy year round. Like, for a Cadbury egg, them suckers are pretty good, man. But I used to love those when I was a kid. But now they're a little too sweet for me. But thing is, though, is but yeah, I probably still would, pick one up if it wasn't for this. I don't think in good conscience I can eat a Cadbury egg now, like, because at the end of this commercial, they have got these two gay men, all right. And by the way, one's black, so it's really woke, right? And it's so stupid. And like, because they're like, ooh, it's interracial and gay. Ooh, we've got the leftists here. Ooh, they're gonna buy our product. They're gonna like us. They're not gonna cancel Cadbury Egg because we gave into them. And if you get mad, it's because you don't like the truth. But seriously, so thing is like, don't get salty because it's real, homie. But yeah. So thing is crap. What was I saying? But yeah. But they got these two gay men. All right, and this is a candy commercial. And one puts the Cadbury egg in his mouth halfway out, and the other comes up and bites the other end, and they like Lady and the Tramp it. They pull it apart, and the cream runs out, which is very sexually explicit. That right there is just like, ew, 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 ew. Like, even if this was a man and a woman, that would be sexually explicit. It's not just that they're gay. The gay part's just the cherry on top, right? But the thing is it's because it's so sexually explicit, and it's a commercial. They're trying to sexualize kids, is what they're doing, and they're doing that in the classrooms now. I mean, sex education, I think, is good as a part of a health course in like middle school, right? But the thing is dude, to sit there and brainwash these kids and tell them that there's more than just male and female, and there are rare cases hermaphrodites. That is a rare case, but still, there's still only two genders, male and female. They're not they're not a gender of their own. They're just in between those genders somehow, like. And that is a very mysterious realm in ministry, by the way. Maybe I should do another video about that some other time. I don't know if that's a hard one to unpack right there. I'm not going to lie. But yeah. But thing is, but there's just male and female though. You're not a female born in a man's body. That's a delusion. Okay? That's a delusion. You are not a 6-year-old rhinoceros that, slash track athlete in a 40-year-old and a 48-year-old morbidly obese man's body, right? You're just not. Yeah. You're just not. You're delusional is what you are. That is a delusion. And currently, medical science is profiting off of delusional people. And it's sickening. It's really sad. I mean, like, we like to think we're not in the dark days of psychiatry anymore. Phew. Yeah, whatever. Like, maybe we're not lobotomizing people like we used to, and, giving shock therapy to homosexuals, which was terrible. We may not be doing things like this, but we're doing other horrible things like making people that are obviously delusional. I think the dude's the attorney general now, Dr. Rachel Levine. What a mess that is. That dude's nuts. That's somebody who is seriously delusional, who is in a high position in our country, and advocating kids getting sex changes. They think it's okay to let a child decide, and we're talking like toddler age children too, they go extreme with it. They think it's okay for that kid to be able to decide if they want to be the opposite sex, and the parents get no say in it. That's disgusting. So all this stuff happens from a deviation of, what God's laid out, which is sanctified sex, right? And so the thing is, and even that, okay, well, I'll leave that alone. Okay, but the thing is Lord, remind me of that in a minute. Because I'm gonna need it. That's a good point. But thing is, yes. So thing is but all this stuff comes from unsanctified sex that's ran rampant in our land. And we can sit there and blame the government. We can blame all this other stuff. But you know what? We individually make society what it is, right? And so, honestly, nothing can happen without the Lord say so. So, even He's allowed things to happen, and I think a lot of it's judgment. I think a lot of it is making our table a snare unto us, and giving us what we've wanted, straight up. And so, thing is, that's a terrible bit of judgment when man gets what he wants. It's bad, and we're seeing it now. But this has been a long time coming thing, it used to be, I hear some of these old timers talk in church, and it's just and they're appalled when somebody wears a pair of shorts to church. And it's and in my generation, I'm that's not bad, dude. A pair of dang shorts, shut up. We're talking regular shorts, not booty shorts. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't care if you wear shorts. The Bible never says to wear a suit to church. It actually speaks in the opposite direction in many cases. But yeah, so thing is crap. But honestly, I think everybody should just basically come to church in jeans and a t-shirt, and that'd be fine. Honestly, I think if more people did that, people who are more impoverished would be a little bit more comfortable to go to church. And honestly, I think if I end up pastoring somewhere, I might institute that in my church. I like wearing the button-up shirts, but that's all I do. I just wear a button-up shirt. I don't even tuck it in. Anyhow, sorry, I'm getting off topic. But they think that that's the most horrendous thing ever. And but I gotta think back in their day, dude, it was common. And here recently, I just just tonight, I seen a picture of a girl dressed like how women used to dress, longer skirt, and she had a long sleeve button up blouse, and she actually looked really pretty. You don't gotta dress all nuts to get. If you're dressing all nuts to get male attention, you're attracting the wrong kind of men. But vice versa, dude. It's the same with men. We all need to respect ourselves a little bit. And now, like, if you say that to somebody, they, like, look at you like you're a hate monger. If you tell a woman, like, hey, honey, you need to respect yourself a little bit and, dress like, you got a little bit of sense to you.
Don't you judge me. I want to dress like a prostitute.
It's like, honey, well, you do you, because that's exactly what you look like. You look like a streetwalker, honey. And the thing is, dudes have a problem with it, but not nearly as bad as women do now. Because, like, yoga pants, dude, they started off, like, they were called leggings, and they were not yoga pants. And they were meant to be wore under a skirt. That was fine. Like, what's happening now, it's like, this is not okay. These are not pants. This is just basically like you wearing solid colored pantyhose as pants. This was considered underwear at one point in time. And now, women are just going around, and they show every dang thing you got. They show every nook and cranny. And, like, they like kids. That's so crazy seeing little girls wearing this. Like, I want to pull parents to the side and be like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, dude? Like, this is a little girl. She ain't supposed to be wearing that outside. Put a skirt on her, man. Like, oh, she wants to fit in with her friends. Don't let her, dude. Like, are you stupid? Like, geez, old Pete, are you dumb? Like, are you dumb or crazy? Like, come on. Like, you gotta think, man. But, yeah, like, it takes, and people will be like, no, what's it, subject to taste? No, shut up. You're thinking stupid. You're thinking stupid. Jeez, old dang Pete's. And like, you got, just telling somebody that now, it's like, you're coming off awful judgmental right now. The Bible tells us to judge these sorts of things. Shut up. Jeez, old Pete's. But the thing is like, it shouldn't be, and these should not be extreme things I'm talking about, and they're really not. Honestly, they're really not. But it sounds so hateful and cruel now. But at one point in time, that's how people would have looked at you. They would have looked at you like, dude, you're nuts. You just let your little daughter come out wearing that? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And the thing is, society, that's what's wrong with them. Because everybody else is doing it. And like, when you get on a teenage kid, that's one of the first things they say. Well, my friends are doing it. So what? Oh, your friends are doing it. Your friends they're ignorant by nature. They're children. They're you're doing what other children are doing. No, you're not grooming yourself for success right now, buddy. Thing is like, and like, that's how it would have been back in the day. People just would have looked at you like you're insane, but now it's so common you'll have, like, thank God that I have found the church that I have found, because the women there dress very modestly, very respectfully. They still look very nice. They look very attractive. I gotta be careful because I don't want to like seem like I'm lusting after dudes' wives, but like, I admire what they got going on. It's like, all right, you're a freaking lady, and there used to be definitions to stuff, and like, people would look at that and now they just call that a lady, and now it's like, I'm sorry, but like, you can be like a 35-year-old woman, but if you're over there wearing yoga pants and you got a little top knot going on, what's the top knot? A bad thing. It's not. It's just that's usually what they got going on, right? They got the top knot and they got some belly shirt on. It's like, where it's showing their belly. It's like, I'm not going to say That's a lady right there. I'm going to say, well, that chick over there. That's what everybody's going to say. You're just a chick. You're just another chick. But to be a lady is like, and you don't got to, this ain't about money here. You ain't got to be dressed like a Victorian, socialite. But the thing is, have some darn respect about yourself, sweetheart. You're worth too much to be cheapening yourself like that. And that's the big thing is like, and that's how it should be done. I mean, like, and just like with these people with their kids, I mean, I know I may come off hard about it, but they're kids. These are kids. And it's sad. It's insane. Like, I can't help but, I should probably help because I shouldn't say things like, are you stupid? I shouldn't say stuff like that. I got to repent of that. But it, like, my flesh, that gets to me because it's just like, oh, dude, like back in the day, man, you let your kid walk out of the house like that, somebody called a PO on you. They'd be like, man, this dude's finna pimp out his kid. Flat out. Look like you're about to turn your kid out and put her on the corner. But, yeah, man. Are you judging my parenting? Yeah, kind of. Like, and I should. Apparently, somebody freaking needs to. I mean, geez. Somebody needs to tell you you're dang wrong. But thing is, I mean, this stuff is evil. It is evil, man. And somebody's got to step up and say it. But, yeah. But, I mean, and the thing is, y'all are worth more than that. I mean, that's just the biggest dang thing here is people cheapen themselves with this stuff, with dressing all foolishly and whatever. Like you may think you look a lot more attractive. No. I mean, yeah, but in the wrong way. Like a lot of this stuff, if you were wearing it, like if it was just like between you and your husband or something, that'd be a whole nother thing. But the fact that you flaunt it so cheaply in front of the whole world to see, that shows how that cheapens you. And a respectable man isn't going, a wise, respectable man isn't going to be like, she's showing her goodies to everybody. I need that. No, you're going to attract insecure men that need the approval of others, and they're going to use you to get it. You're just going to be their arm candy. They're just going to use and abuse you. That's all you're going to get. You may get the image of, what you think you want. Like, that's why, like, I really hate the glorification of sex symbols. Because it's like, dude, you want to be Marilyn Monroe? What's wrong with you? Like, I mean, you want to be these deeply troubled women that are revered because they were hot? They didn't have brains going on. If you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. You shouldn't make me have to put up with your worst like that. I mean, we all are going to show this sometime, but geez, Pete's lady, not the way she did it. Like, come on. But yeah, then that's what society needs to hear in such a big way right now. Like, what? Come on, man. What's wrong with you? You're smarter than that. Come on now. Thing is, though, is, yeah, it's nuts. But, this is what happens. This stuff is all what happens. When you glorify the unnatural. God has his ways that he wants stuff. The Bible, it speaks against women plaiting their hair. Because at the time, I guess that was like some sexually explicit stuff, and I think that might just be something for the time, but I don't know. It talks about like, straight up women should be sober, shamefaced, and whatever. And like, and that today is not popular preaching. You know, back in those days, it was common, it was the modest apparel for a woman to have her head covered. The Bible said it's a dishonor to a woman to pray with her head uncovered, and if her head's uncovered, let her head be shaved. You know? And then when we look at today, you know, like if other women seen a woman with her head covered praying, you know, trying to be sanctified and holy before the Lord as much as she could think to do it, even if she doesn't necessarily have to do that, they'd make fun of her. They'd be like, "Oh, Martha over there," you know, like, you know, they would do that. They'd be casting shade on that poor girl because, you know, that poor lady, because, you know, that's how they are now. Because society's so out of whack. Now, if you stand up and you say homosexuality is an error, it is an error. You know, it is wrong. It's delusional. If you say this stuff, it is not natural. If you say this, you are considered a hate monger now. You're considered, I mean, like, you're considered the worst of the worst. You're considered an outdated, fuddy-duddy, delusional, right-wing nut job, you know, cultist. And it's like, dude, you know, this is why society's getting away from itself. You know, this is, you know, there's so much wisdom in the Bible. And if you just knew it, if you just understood it and you could apply it to your life, you would know what you're missing. You know, but so many people, and this is what's really sad, is so many people have seen people claiming to be Christian. They were, and either they weren't or they weren't very sanctified, and using it to abuse people. Like, you know, that's why a lot of people, like, when you look at when people bring up, like, why they think Christianity isn't legitimate, they bring up the Spanish Inquisition and the Crusades, and it's like, bro, those were Catholics, those weren't Christians. There's a huge difference there. And once you say that to people, they don't know what to say to you. You know, because they're like, well, they're not Christians. No, they're pagans. You sure? Yeah, dude, I could show you. Let's get on the internet right now. I'll show you some stuff. Like, flat out, like, they're pagan, you know? They're a pagan cult with a Jesus mask, you know? But thing is like, you know, it's all these people who have seen it go awry. Very few people have seen biblical Christianity. Because the thing is, like, yeah, we might look at you at first, be like, what's wrong with you, man? But then we might tell you something on the other hand, like, don't you know you're worth more than that? Don't you know you are so much better than that? Come on. You know, quit. This is beneath you, you know? And that's the big thing, is like, people are out there sullying themselves, doing stuff that is so far beneath what the Lord ever intended for mankind. You know, and it's so sad. Because, like, you know I can come off real harsh about it, but it's so sad. Because if you've seen how beautiful it is, when you see the difference between having sex to have sex with somebody and making love to somebody you care about, it's powerful. It's precious. You know, it's everything good in life. And we sell out riches. We sell out our steaks for bologna sandwiches. You know? I mean, yeah. Hold up, I'm gonna make another video.